A Haunting in Venice is the third movie that actor and director Kenneth Branagh has presented to us in his attempt at Hercule Poirot adaptations, and at this point, I call it quits. As a die-hard Agatha Christie fan, I was the biggest supporter of Branagh when he announced initially that he would come up with a Poirot-based series. I mean, Branagh is an experienced and talented movie maker, so who would be better at this task than him, right? Well, currently I feel like every single other person who adopted Christie's work was better than him. To his credit, I genuinely feel like A Haunting in Venice is an okay movie if you forget that it is a Christie adaptation. But once you make that big claim, then you create a standard for yourself to meet. Unfortunately, I believe A Haunting in Venice is far from meeting that standard despite great acting, atmosphere, and cinematography. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and see how Branagh did a disservice to his amazing cast with this mediocre project. First and foremost, even though A Haunting in Venice claims to be based on Christie's Halloween Party, let me tell you that the final product has nothing to do with the original material. In fact, I struggle to understand why Branagh insisted on adapting this particular story if he intended to make this many changes to it. I mean, it's clear that he did not see the setting, character, or the story itself worthy of being adapted as they are. And don't get me wrong, I get that every book-to-movie adaptation is bound to be reshaped. However, Branagh's changes were too many and too big that it was very difficult to see glimpses of the original material in the end. For instance, I love Venice as a city and I believe it is a great setting for any type of movie, let alone a mystery. In this movie, the city was treated as an actor itself, with so many amazing shots that captured the fall atmosphere and the beauty of it. In any other movie with a strong enough scenario, this would be a great addition that contributes a lot to the overall charm of the project. Nevertheless, in a movie with a mediocre scenario, like A Haunting in Venice, the overwhelming usage of the city makes me feel like the director was trying to compensate for his lack of substance with beautiful shots. And it is a shame in my humble opinion. Even though I wasn't a fan of Branagh's Murder in Orient Express adaptation, I was hooked enough to watch the next project, Death on the Nile. Unfortunately, it was a huge mistake on my part because that movie solidified to me that the main issue with Branagh's Christie adaptations was that he did not understand Christie at all. Especially when it comes to bringing a character as iconic as Hercule Poirot into life, Branagh fails epically. I feel like he doesn't get the core values of Poirot, starting from the over-the-top mustache to his Belgium identity and OCD. He portrays a caricature of Poirot who cares about being charismatic more than anything else, and I struggle to understand why he chose this path exactly. In this particular movie, he reveals that Poirot is an atheist, which is almost as ridiculous as John Malkovich's overly religious Poirot portrayal in 2018's ABC Murders. Perhaps I am being too judgmental as I constantly compare Branagh's Poirot to David Suchet's iconic performance as Poirot. And yet, sorry not sorry, I believe the comparisons are inevitable and Branagh fails in every single category against Suchet. The sad thing is that Poirot is not the only Christie character that Branagh fails in getting the essence of. In A Haunting in Venice, we are introduced to Ariadne Oliver, a longtime friend of Poirot who writes mysteries. When I heard that she would be portrayed by Tina Fey, I got very much excited, as I like Fey very much. However, all my fears came true when I saw that Fey portrayed the character as if she was a stand-up personality who was impatiently waiting to deliver the next joke. I mean, this is not SNL. This is a murder mystery. Yes, Oliver has always been a witty, charming character. But she has never been this comedic, like ever. Remember Zoe Wanamaker's performance and you'll get why I'm this mad about Fey's portrayal. Now you may question why did I watch this movie despite having the lowest expectations from it. Well, simply because I'm a die-hard Yellowstone fan and felt like this is a great opportunity to combine my two obsessions together. I mean, watching Kellly Reilly in a Christie adaptation is a dream that I wasn't aware of. And I'm glad to confirm that Reilly delivered in the movie, being the perfect host for a murder mystery scene. That being said, I feel like her talents are underutilized and I wish to have more of her. To be honest, as I said at the beginning of the video, if this wasn't a self-acclaimed Christie adaptation based on Reilly's performance alone, I would have left the theater in a very content mood after seeing this movie. And yet here we are being utterly annoyed by almost every single creative choice that Branagh had to the point of even overlooking Reilly's great performance. But what are your thoughts on A Haunting in Venice? Do you think it is worth watching at least to see Reilly starring in a Christie adaptation? Let me know what you think in the comments below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.